Welcome to the 2D Web Solution Show, the podcast that provides freelancers who are wanting to make more with WordPress, the solutions to create a plan, take action, and experience success. And now, here are Arelthia, Phillips, and Carron with their next 2D Web Solutions episode.
Thank you for being here for episode 29.
So today's topic is positioning yourself. Arelthia, let's jump right into the questions. How do you want to define yourself to your clients?
Okay, so when we're talking about defining ourselves for our clients, we want to think about what specializations best describe our core strengths. And so if we think about it from that perspective, then we're looking at, are you more into design? Are you more into content? Are you more into development or more into construction? Okay, so are you just putting it together? Are you the implementer type? And so when we think about that, we want to look at what best describes your strengths pretty much, Kerry. And before we get to the end of this episode, guys, you want to make sure you stick around because we're also going to talk about how you can tell your story to your client. But before we get to that, Kerry, what else do you think that we need to consider when we're trying to define ourselves for our clients?
Well, you know what? A lot of the things that I think about when I hear that question is, so often we start by defining ourselves so that we can identify who our ideal client is. And that's kind of the direction where we're going here. So you want to place the emphasis on what your top skills are. Do you move yourself more toward the visual design of things? Do you want to specialize in the mobile aspect of things or e-commerce? Or maybe you don't want anything to do with design and you'd rather just do programming. Can you think of anything else that you'd like to add to that?
I think that hits it about right where it should be, Kerry, with the skills you want to consider. I think let's go ahead and, one thing I want to add to that top skills is maybe you're more along the lines of like a discovery type. You help the client identify the problems, the little details that can come along and what they need to plan for before they even get to the visual design or the programming or the mobile or the e-commerce stuff. But maybe you are more of a detailed person. So maybe more along the consultant type area. So, Kerry, when we're talking about all this, we want to make sure we're focusing on, like, why should clients hire us? Or why should the client hire you?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I consider why a client should hire me, I have to ask myself, what is it that makes me unique or even qualified to do business with the clients that I want to attract?
Okay. So yeah, that is right along the, like, that uniqueness. What makes you different than someone else? Why shouldn't I go with this person? Why should I go with you instead of the other person over there? And that starts by identifying the benefits that your clients receive when they work with you. So, for example, one time I had a client to tell me, he was like, I love working with you because I tell you what I want and you always know what I need. It's like, you know exactly what I need, even if that's not specifically what I said. And so that becomes part of the, like, how you communicate, because communication is a two-way street. It's not just how you speak to your client, it's how you listen to your client as well.
Right. And it goes along the lines, too, of your customer service. How do you provide your support? Are you helpful in finding the solutions that your clients are looking for? And the quality of your work. I have clients who come to me all the time and they're like, you are awesome in that I can ask you to do something and you'll get it done. And you always are so much quicker to do things than I can. And a lot of my clients are the do-it-yourself type. So they're always, they know that they can do it and I know they can do it. But it's the fact that the speed of the work. So that ties into the quality as well. You can go fast, you can do well, and you can combine and balance those. So that's one of the qualities that I have when I work with my clients is they love how fast I can get things done. And a lot of that is just the sheer number of hours that I've put into doing that kind of work in the past.
Great, great. So Kerry, how do you tell your story to your customers? How do you tell them who you are and what you can do for them? How do you tell that story?
Well, I think it's important to ensure that your potential leads recognize exactly what you can provide for them. And so you can do that a number of ways. A couple of them are if you can meet up with people in person. So for example, I'm going to a WordCamp coming up soon, and I plan to meet a lot of people. And so I'm going to be talking to those people in person, and I'm going to have to be able to provide my story to them in a very quick and short and accurate time frame, because I'm not going to have a lot of time and there's going to be a whole lot of people there. Another way that you can ensure that people know exactly what you do is by stating the facts of what you do right on your website. Can you give us some more examples, Arelthia?
I think the two you've already brought up, Kerry, about in person and on your website, and I'm going to add social media platforms. The thing about those three, and there are more, but the thing about those three is that your story that you're telling your customer needs to be consistent. The person that they meet in person, they need to get that feeling as though, oh yeah, you're the same, you are the person behind that website or that company or the social media platform. I still feel like I'm talking to the same person, not like, oh, no, that's not, I don't know who's writing your content for you because you're not doing it. You have to be consistent and tell that same story. And it starts by including your personality in everything you do, even your email interactions. And when you're in chat rooms or like, I guess they call direct messaging platforms now or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. You mentioned how you have to be your own person when you are corresponding with people. As you're saying that, I'm thinking, yeah, we're not a dating site. Your site is not a dating site. You're not going to put up, things that don't look like you or don't sound like you, and you can't hide behind the lie.
Yeah, and
real.
That's funny, Kerry, because we talked about the importance of having your own website in a previous episode. And one of the things about that is like a lot of times you see people that look one way on their website, or they keep that same old social media picture up on their social media profile. And then you meet them in person at a meetup or somewhere and you're like, that was like 20 years ago.
Yes.
So it's like we have to be careful with that. Like, will it completely kill the deal? No, it will not. But we want to be consistent with the story we tell. So Kerry, what is the action plan that we have for our audience today?
Start consistently communicating your specializations, skills, and unique benefits in messages and interactions with people.
So guys, remember your questions and comments. We love to hear from you. So go to 2dwebsolutions.com, leave us your questions and comments. And we want to thank you for being here.
So now go out and create your plan, take action, and experience your success.
Kerry and Arelthia invite you to start your plan by taking this action. Submit your questions by visiting their website and subscribe to their 2D podcast at 2dwebsolutions.com.